Hello and welcome back, dear students. Wish you all stay happy, healthy, and safe at home and do your studies regularly and properly. I'm Yojna Parak, and our today's topic is public and private partnership from chapter 7, that is public sector, private sector, and global enterprises for standard 11 students from your OCM subject, that is Organization of Commerce and Management. Now, in this chapter, we have already studied about public sector, private sector, global enterprises, and joint venture. Now, only two topics are remaining, that is public private partnership, and the next one is public utility. So, let us quickly done. And with this chapter will also complete. So, now let us start. First, the meaning of public and private partnership. So, what do you understand first by public and private partnership? As we saw earlier, that public enterprises runs under the laws of government, and private enterprises runs under the their own rules and regulation, but just government have some influence, but not as much as in public sector. So the partnership of public and private, that you can say as the government is doing partnership with private sector. I can give you example of communication, transportation, and railways. Earlier, these departments were only in the hand of government, but as the technology grew, rapid growth, uh, people people's demand increased. So because of that, to meet the growth, to meet the level of development of the world, to be in competition, so government had to uh, do the partnership with private sector, because only government was not able to develop it as much, to stay in the competition of the world. So now then, for the growth, for development, for upliftment, and for modern technology, and to meet the demand and desire of the people, that partnership of public sector and private sector came into existence. Now these things, or these departments, are why they are not completely given to the private sector or not completely with government, because government cannot invest in that much, even it cannot pay that much attention, because government have lots of work, and these are in public interest, so they cannot rely on private sector, because private sector's main motive is to earn profit. They might not consider their social responsibilities. So because of the limitation of investment, and because they could not pay that much attention, because they had already lots of work, so they did partnership with private sector. Now there will not be the monopoly of government sector or private sector. So because of that partnership, monopoly will also eliminate, and even that partnership, the private sector won't be trouble to the society, or won't look at their own personal profit only. So in this way, that partnership was beneficial for government, for private sector, and also for public, so that public can be provided all the better facilities with good quality, and with modern technology, and competitive advantages can be provided. And along with that, the burden of government will reduce. There will get improvement by the intervention of private sector, and even that monopoly will also be eliminated. So these were the reasons why public and private sectors came into existence. Now let us see this topic. Public private partnership is a new arrangement and it is a requirement of time. In 1991, the Indian government has accepted globalization and many products which were earlier not available in the Indian market is now made available from the foreign market. For this, the country required infrastructure, which in turn required large scale investment. For example, of air services, we need airport and such other allied facilities. For new and modern car, a good road is must. For all this infrastructural development, government needed massive investment, as I told you, which was not possible for the government. Now private sector was capable of such huge investment, but there was danger of monopoly element if everything was handed over to the private sector permanently. Hence, a new arrangement was accepted. What was that new arrangement? That the land will be of government, but it will be given for a particular period to the private sector. So the new arrangement was made according to which government gives land for developing infrastructure, private sector invest and allowed to collect fees from the beneficiaries of that service. That means if a road is made and the one who drives on the road or do the parking, they can earn from the people who are using that road or that parking area. So in this way, the land is of government, but private sector can use it and can invest in it and collect fees from the beneficiaries of that service for a described duration for a particular period only. For that described duration, maintenance is a responsibility of private sector because they are earning the fees from that land. After a described duration, private sector hand over the infrastructure to the government, and then entire responsibility of maintaining it also goes to the government, just like Ahmedabad Vadodara Express Highway, and it can be renewed also. So this was public and private partnership. Now the next topic is public utility. Public utility, that means the things or the place or the units which are used by public, by general public, that is not the property of a particular person. It is belongs to general public, like sewerage or gas facility or communication facility, transportation, railway, electricity. So these are the services, bus. So these are the services used by general public. So that is known as public utility. There is a continuous increase in the requirement of basic infrastructure with the growth of villages and cities. In modern civilized society, certain services and utilities are essential. Such services and utilities are provided continuously and efficiently, which is known as public utility services, which are necessary to be used, and that supply of these services would be continuous. Public utility units provide such basic facility like water supply, electricity, transportation, communication, gas, sewerage. These are our basic needs. So these services are provided by public utilities. Any deterioration in the quality of service affect the public life. if the cleanliness is not maintained, if the regularity is not maintained, or if the quality of that service is not maintained, all these things, if any kind of deterioration, that means degradation of quality, will be there, so that will affect the public life, and hence monopoly is offered to such services, and at the same time it is controlled by the government. So here, this is the second type, you can say, of public and private contract. That here, in the previous we saw that public public and private partnership, the government will provide them the land, and they will use it, and will earn from that, and will maintain that land, and after that particular duration they will return it and hand over it to government back again. But here, these services are given to private sector completely, but government can interfere in that. So there is monopoly of private sector, but that is controlled by government. Public utility services are available to every citizen regularly at the nearest point at low cost, because it is controlled by government and it is for general public, not for a special one. So now, as you know, that the public of this country do not have the same economic status. So it is for general public. So all the public, disregarding their economic status, can use these public services. That is why the cost has been kept low, so that uh, every person generally can use it, whether it is sweeper or it is the richest man. So all can use it generally. That is why the cost is kept low. This service are provided without any discrimination to everyone. Clear? Now, there is no discrimination in the public who can use it. It is for general public and anyone can use it, disregard their economic status. So, to make it usable for every person, that is why they do apply low cost here in public services and public utilities, so that no one will face problem in using them, like BRTS, like public uh, sewerage toilets, or communication, or electricity, gas supply, like water supply. So these are the basic needs which are provided to the general public in whole without any discrimination. That is why the cost is kept low. Due to the adoption of the ideology of privatization, competition has been accepted even in this field. A suitable change have been done in public utility services by law of the parliament. Initially, government had a monopoly, but by a change in law, more units were allowed to enter. Why it was needed? Because uh, it also needed huge investment, so that these facilities can be provided to the public in their nearest area. So that is why that huge investment was needed, and that is why it was given to private sector. So that first thing, that this facility can be provided to the general public, to their nearest place, and in good quantity and good quality too. And second thing, that the advantages of private unit can be provided to them, because government is not able to pay attention to this issue, more and more, even or often frequently. So that is why it was given to the private sector, so they will pay more attention to this, and the customers, or you can say general public, can get the benefit of quality and quantity both. So that is why it was given to the private sector completely, but it is still controlled by government. A suitable change has been done in public utility services by law of the parliament, because earlier it was in the hand of government only, there was the monopoly of government. But as the quality of government was not that up to that mark, so that is why changes were made and it was given to the private sector, but the government can control it. By the change in law, it was the private sector was allowed to enter in these services. Like in communication, first there were only one connection was there of BSNL, so that is government network. But then uh, private sector also entered in that, like Reliance, uh, Vodafone, Idea, Airtel. So in this way, the sector which was in the hand of government only, then it was given permission to the private sector to enter in this sector, in the services. And so it will increase the competition, and the customers, or you can say general public, can get better facilities and better services, more options, and with good quantity and good quality. So that is why this came into existence, because we also know that government was not that effective in this sector. Why? Because it could not pay much attention to every sector, because it has already lots of work. So because it is for general public and it is basic need of general public, so it was needed to pay more attention, and as government was not able to do that, so it was given to private sector. But government will control it, so that they won't do any kind of harm to the general public, and so that they will oblige their social responsibility. So here this also completes. Now let us see next. Telephone services is a public utility service. Now let us see the example of public utility. As per law, government has established separate department and had monopoly, but now by making changes in law, it accepted that telephone services can be provided by more than one company. Even after allowing competition in the field, government continues to control these private services providers to safeguard the interest of customers and protect them from exploitation, so that private sector won't use their monopoly for exploiting the customers or general public. So that is why government is controlling them, controlling the private sector, and it is also continuing to compete with the private sector. BSNL still works. The management of public utility service is taken care by village panchayat or taluka panchayat or district panchayat, nagarpalika and mahanagarpalika. In Surat we have mahanagarpalika SMC. At the state level, certain public utility service like transportation, electricity, services, etc. health services, etc., are taken care by government departments, company, or corporation. At the national level, transportation, post, and telegraph telephones are provided by central government department, company, or corporation. Gujarat Road Transport Corporation takes care of the bus service in Gujarat, GRTC. Thus, the objective of public utility service is to provide basic services to make life easier so that people and easier to the people, and due to such services life becomes simple and their living standard will improve by the interference of private sector. The improvement will be made in the quantity and quality, and along with that, because of the competition of government and private sector, they will try to provide more and more satisfaction to their customers. And because of the intervention of government, the general public won't be exploited by private sector. So private sector cannot use their monopoly for exploiting general public. So this is in this way basic needs will be provided in good quantity and quality. Second thing, the people will not be exploited, and by the competition they can get better service, and they can get the benefit of new and advanced developed technology and innovation too. So that was the reason why public utility came into existence, and in that private sector was allowed to enter. And here our topic of public utility and public and private partnership comes to an end. With this, I hope that the seventh chapter and these topics are clear to you and this explanation would be useful for you. Here we comes to an end of this video. Now we will meet in the next video with new chapter. Till then, take care of yourself, be safe and keep on learning. Thanks for being with me. See you.